Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all of you. Students, we have started our 8th chapter, which is plants living and surviving. And today we are going to read about some more plants in different kinds of habitats. I like to recapitulate the previous topic. We read about terrestrial plants, the plants on mountains, the plants in plains, and the plants in deserts, and also the plants in areas of heavy rainfall. And we read the different kinds of adaptations and the different kinds of special features that are present in different kinds of plants. Today, students, we are going to read plants in marshy areas. In marshy areas, the soil is sticky, and the trees that grow in the marshy areas are called as mangroves. Students, as their loss of air is not present, so the roots of these trees do not get sufficient air. So what these roots do, they grow out of the soil and breathe. Such roots that come out of the soil for breathing, they are called as breathing roots. Why they come out of the soil? They come out because they do not get sufficient amount of air below the soil. That's why they come on the surface of earth. Now, plants on sea coast. What are the different kinds of special features which are present in the plants that live on sea coasts? In sea areas, rains are sufficient, and we know that in sea areas there is lots of salt present, so water is also salty there. The plants like coconut grows in salty areas. So coconut is an example of the tree that grows in the sea or coastal areas, and the seeds that are present in those trees are scattered by water. Now, this is a homework for you people. Think and write. You have to mention the two plants that grow on mountains, two plants that grow in deserts, similarly that grow in areas of rainfall, heavy rainfall, and the plants that grow in marshy areas and on sea coasts. You will check out your books and you will answer these questions. Now we are going to read one more category, that's aquatic plants. What are aquatic plants? Students, aquatic plants are those plants that live in water. As we have read about aquatic animals, what are aquatic animals? They are the animals that live in water. Similarly, these aquatic plants are the plants that survive in water. And the aquatic plants are having three types, that is floating plants, fixed plants, and underwater plants. We are going to read floating plants, fixed and underwater plants one by one. Number first, we will read about floating plants. What are floating plants? Students, floating plants are those plants that you see floating over the surfaces of water. Like you can see in different kinds of rivers, the different kinds of plants are floating over the surface. Those are living plants and they are aquatic plants, and they are called as floating plants. What are their features? They are having soft and spongy stems so that they can float on the surface of water. The examples of floating plants are duckweed and water hyacinth. You can check it from your books, and there the diagrams of these floating plants are also shown, duckweed and water hyacinth. Now the second type, that is fixed plants. These are the plants that have their roots fixed to the bottom of pond or river. So these fixed plants are fixed at one place and they are present at the bottom of a river body, of a water body. They have long stems and floating leaves, broad floating leaves. The examples of floating plants, fixed plants, includes water lily and lotus. What are the characteristics of the leaves of such plants? Their leaves are having pores and they are having a waxy surface. These are the adaptations that help a plant to float. Now, underwater plants. What are underwater plants? These are the plants that are neither attached to the bottom nor they float, nor they are floating, but they are underwater. That is, they grow under the water. These plants have narrow leaves with no pores. They breathe through their body surfaces and they are fixed to the soil at the bottom with the help of roots. Their leaves move with the help of water. Their shoots are very delicate, and the examples of such plants include tap grass, pondweed, and hydrilla. So students, this underwater plants are actually fixed at the bottom of a river body with the help of roots, but from the bottom they actually emerge out due to their long shoots. Now one more topic from the same chapter, that is parts of grass family. Students, as you know that all the members of the grass family are very much important. They are useful for us in many ways and we use them in our day-to-day lives. For example, wheat, rice, maize, sugar, fodder, etc. They are all obtained from the grass family. They provide us food that we eat. For example, rice. We per day eat rice. For example, maize. We also eat maize in our day-to-day lives. Sugar. We also use sugar for making our teas, and that is also used in our regular life. So the members of rice family are very much important and they are used by us. Thank you.